finally, that alarm is done. It was really starting to aggravate me. Anyway, welcome back, Amibros, to Bioshock. In the last episode, we took care of all three of Cohen's former disciples, allowing us to finally complete his masterpiece. But before we do that, there are a few things we have to take care of, namely rescuing the remaining little sisters, as well as exploring a little bit more of Poseidon's Plaza. Don't worry, Sandra Cohen. Your masterpiece will be completed within the hour, I promise. I gotta take a few more snappies of the little sisters, as I'm very close to another completing another research level. Can I do it? Come on, almost there. Come on. What do you mean the score's too low? Come on, take another picture, damn it. Alright, fine. Might as well deal with this big daddy and save this little sister anyway. Of course, this stupid spider splicer has to get in the way and make me hit the big daddy preemptively. Oy. I swear I wasn't trying to hit you, well, yet anyway. No, that doesn't make it any better, but still. Well, luckily I loaded up my chemical thrower with electric gel, so that bouncer shouldn't be too much trouble. Of course, he has just a sliver of health left, so I'm gonna have to take you down the old-fashioned way. With good old Manny the machine gun. Hiya! And it was a good thing I was quick on the draw with that medkit, because I would have died, and that big daddy would have only had a sliver of health. That would have been very, very embarrassing. Although, funny enough, I don't know why that big daddy was burned. Or how he got burned. This is the better question, you know? I don't recall us seeing any Houdini splicers in the previous episode. Maybe one of Cohen's disciples hit him with a Molotov cocktail. Then again, the bouncer probably would have chased him. Maybe the bouncer was just like, fuck it, you're too far away, you're running too fast for me. I can't keep up. Possibly. Anyway, welcome to Surprise, the casino of Poseidon Plaza. We saw this room in the last episode, but I didn't feel the need to go into it just yet, as I wanted to complete the objective that was laid before us. But since we've already done what Cohen has wanted us to do, well, we might as well gamble some of our troubles away. Taking photos of dead bodies will do that to you. I mean, that and drinking too, but that's besides the point. Anyway, slot machines, they work exactly how a slot machine in real life works. You insert money, you pull the lever, and you hope you get a jackpot, which is the highest you can get at a slot machine. No shit. If you should happen to get a jackpot, you will not only get a shit ton of money, but you'll also get an achievement as well. A pain in the ass achievement, because, again, of the slot machine's RNG factor, which, again, no shit, it's a slot machine, what were you expecting? In my opinion, that achievement is one of the hardest / easiest to get because of the RNG factor to it. But it doesn't have to be that way, you understand? Because we can shoot electricity out of our fingertips. We can short-circuit security turrets, as well as security bots, and even the cameras. And that's the biggest thing that irks me about that achievement, as well as the slot machines. Because it's not like you can go to a specific slot machine that has a higher rate of giving you a jackpot. No, all of them are random. Even that one that was on its side. It is random. You know, and I've tried this before. I've tried freezing it. I've tried whacking it with my wrench. I've even tried electrocuting it, and nothing increases your chances of getting a jackpot. So if you're trying to platinum this game, this might be the most pain in the ass achievement you get, and will probably be the place you spend the most time on, depending on how lucky you are. You know, and again, I get it, it's a slot machine, but in a setting where you're able to, again, short-circuit everything and fire electricity out of your fingertips, why doesn't that increase the odds of you getting a jackpot? You know, I mean, the whole place is a leap in logic. So I don't know why the developers were so inconsistent with it. But that's my own little mini rant. For right now, let's go and collect Tannenbaum's reward we received in the previous episode. We now have the upgraded version of Hypnotize Big Daddy, so now Big Daddies remain under our control for even longer, which is nice, you know? I don't use it, but it's nice to have if you're a fan of that sort of thing. Speaking of nice to have, let's get more slots for our individual tracks. We'll pick another slot for our plasmids as well as our physical tonics, and we'll cap it all off with another slot for our engineering tonic track. Bleh. Sorry, I can't speak today. Unfortunately, I don't buy any new plasmids quite yet. We do have the upgraded versions of certain plasmids available to us now, but I don't buy those. Again, I don't buy those just yet, as I'm perfectly content with the ones I have now. You know, Electrobolt is still very potent this late into the game. What else? Telekinesis doesn't have an upgraded version to it in this game, so don't really need to buy it just yet. Incinerate and Insect Swarm I don't utilize as much yet, but still, nice to have if you're into that sort of thing. Anyway, let's start completing Cohen's masterpiece.
But there will always be doubters. You don't doubt. I could never stomach doubters.
Silly Sander Cohen, you're not supposed to eat the doubters. You're supposed to, like, murder them horrifically. I mean, isn't that what you do already?
3 of 4. What's that look? You don't like it, do you? I don't be judged by you, by anyone. Screw you! Screw all you fucking doubters! Here's what I say to all of you!
Well, since Mr. Cohen over here is throwing a hissy fit because we're not exactly happy posting photos of dead people in frames held up by people covered in plaster, he's now sicking 17 splicers onto us. And yes, there are 17 exactly, and that's not from me counting, that's from me doing research on the Bioshock wiki, saying that Mr. Cohen will sick 17 splicers on you after you post the third photo in the frame. You know, if I'm not counting, someone else probably is. But I appreciate it. But yeah, we have a bit of an endurance round. It's not too terribly hard. Again, it's mostly just spider and thuggish splicers Cohen sends at you. Enemies that we've done a crap ton of research on and have a slew of research bonuses against. So either whip out good old Samuel the shotgun, or any of your other weapons like your crossbow, and just go to town on them. Funny enough, I do think these are I do think that these splicers can actually see through your natural camouflage. You saw right there once the section started that 2 splicers knew right where I was exactly, and they started beating on me. You know, despite the fact that I was invisible. You know, so maybe Mr. Cohen had kept these people locked up personally and made them have an eye for things that are amiss around them. I mean, that's my guess or my explanation of it. You know, feel free to have your own explanation and post it in the comments, or not. You know, and just keep it to yourself. Who knows? You know, I don't judge. You do you, boo. You do you, and you do it well. Anyway, we're just about done, and booyah! Not too hard and not too difficult.
I'm sorry for that outburst. You'll have to forgive an old fool his artistic temperament. The birth is so close now. The labor pains can blur the judgment and drive the passions of even the finest spirits.
You're lucky that prize contains some electric gel, Mr. Cohen. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so forgiving.
My God. It's beautiful. You'll find your path to Ryan is now clear. Tell Sandra Sullivan. Oh, yes. You may avail yourself upon one of my lesser works as a token of our time together. If you had become my one and true disciple, you might have been worthy of seeing inside the box of my most private news. So who knows if that man is yet even born? Now, go.
What happened to you? I've been trying to raise you for a dog's age. Never mind. Would you kindly leg it over to the sphere and get on down to Hephaestus?
Hold on 1 second there, Atlas. I still have to take some snappies of the security bot over here. Hold on, you little bugger. And booyah! Completed our research for security bots. We no longer have to photograph them. Thank God. And before we leave Fort Frolic, let's explore that room that Sandra Cohen was in and listen to this audio diary.
I could have been the toast of Broadway, the talk of Hollywood, but instead I followed you to this soggy bucket. When you needed my starlight, I illuminated you. But now I rot, waiting for an audience that doesn't ever come. I'm writing something for you, Andrew Ryan. It's a requiem.
Seems there was a lot of beef between Cohen and Ryan than Cohen initially let on. Heavy stuff. But, in spite of that, we pick up a brand new combat tonic that has been teasing us since we got here. Electric Flash, pretty much. We deal more damage with electric attacks, and we take less damage from electric attacks. Which, for the upcoming level Hephaestus, can be rather helpful, as the Thuggish Splicers we've been encountering will start utilizing electrified melee weapons against you. So if you feel they're dealing too much damage to you, slap on Electric Flesh, and you're good as gold. But as you saw, we still have one more little sister to worry about in Fort Frolic. But before we deal with her exactly, there is one room that I've been ignoring since we got here. Cohen's collection. Alright, step in, it's okay. Jeez, Sander, if you really wanted friends, all you had to do was just ask them, hey, do you guys want to hang out with me? And stuff. You didn't have to kidnap them and plaster them. Jesus, man. Ugh. But on the top floor, there are 3 saves, as well as a hidden security turret behind these 2 mannequins, so be mindful of that. But speaking of ignored rooms, there is one room I do ignore initially. That would be Sinclair Spirits, a shop we saw in Poseidon Plaza that I don't head into just yet. I do head into it way later, but not now. Should you head into Sinclair Spirits, there is a switch behind the counter that will lead you to a Power of the People station. I don't realize I've missed this room until way later. And funny enough, every time I play through this game, I always miss it. I don't know why. It's not that Sinclair Spirits is a forgettable shop, it's just it completely flies over my head every time I play this game. And I don't know why. But yeah, we do go to Sinclair Spirits eventually, just not now. But enough of that. For right now, let's rescue this last little sister. But not before taking a couple snappies of this Big Daddy, as well as her. Research levels are important, people. Especially if you want to make your time in Bioshock less strenuous. But speaking of less strenuous, I also wanted to mention that regardless of how you feel about him, and I cannot stress this enough, do not, I repeat, do not kill Sandra Cohen yet. You will get another opportunity to kill him. Just don't do it now. If you do, you'll be screwing yourself over big time. But if you decide to be the rebel and say, fuck you, Amiibo Central, you don't tell me what to do, you'll be in for a very tough fight with Sandra Cohen. The way he behaves is he behaves like a Houdini splicer, except he's a lot more bulky and his teleportation range is a lot bigger. Should you kill Sandra Cohen, you'll get the key that unlocks the glass tube containing his chest. The chest only contains money, some Eve hypos, and ammo for one of your guns. I forget which exactly, but that's pretty much what the chest contains, for slight spoiler warning there. But the chest ultimately isn't the big prize. It's for when you encounter Sandra Cohen the second time. But we'll get to that. No, I'll get more into that when we get there. But as for right now, I strongly advise you that you leave Sandra Cohen alive for now. But now that we've rescued our final little sister, we can purchase one more thing from the Gatherer's Garden. And I decided to pick up a new plasmid, Cyclone Trap. Fairly cheap plasmid, which is nice, but game explain what it does.
Set traps for unsuspecting enemies. Lure your foes into deadly ambushes.
So funny enough, much like Security Bullseye, Cyclone Trap works best as a hit and run type of plasmid. You know, you damage a splicer, and they chase you, and then they run into your Cyclone Trap, sending them up into the air, having them hit the ceiling, and then fall back down. It's kind of funny seeing it happen, and I do show it off, but that's not for later. But for right now, we are done with Fort Frolic. It's time to go on to Hephaestus. Not yet. As you've seen throughout the level, we've seen these fortune tellers. Why don't we spend a rapture dollar and see what he has to say?
It won't go well. It won't go well at all.
Oh, that's kind of depressing. Let me try again.
So, you think you're getting out of here?
I like to dream, fortune teller. Damn. I don't believe in third time's a charm. You know, if it doesn't work the second time, then clearly it ain't worth spending more money on. But on that depressing note, next time on Bioshock, we'll be heading into Hephaestus. See you guys then.
Rapture is going to hell. And why? Because of them. Always behind the scenes, at the Lyceum, at the galleries in Soho, even down here in this so-called utopia. The Doubters. But Ryan understands. We're simpatico. Yes, there's blood in the streets. Yes, people sometimes disappear. And those awful little girls. Well, I suppose the Doubters think you can paint a picture without soiling your smock.